Hi Capricorn, I'm Ronique and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your mid-May through mid-June career tarot reading. This is where we're going to look at your finances, your job, and how the astrological energies could help you with all of that. Now, I do think Capricorn, this is a really pivotal time as we have two major planets shifting signs. We do have Saturn moving into the sign of Aries, Jupiter moving into Cancer, and then another notable event is Mars in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus. I think that's going to be very big for all of us, including on the world stage with the economy, but also all of us with our job, our finances, and where is it that, twists and turns could come about, because it's going to be at that 28th degree with Uranus. Remember, Uranus will be also changing signs into Gemini later this summer. So lots going on. Let's get right into it. If you haven't subscribed yet, Capricorn, I would love if you would. Check the description box below for all of the important dates. All right, Capricorn, let's start mid-May. You start off with the King of Wands in the reverse, as well as the Ten of Swords also in the reverse. By the time we get to the end of May, we do have the Seven of Wands in reverse, as well as the Lover's card, Gemini energy there, major arcana in reverse. By the time we are moving into June, all of these reversals, what's going on, Capricorn? Page of Cups in reverse, as well as the Knight of Wands in reverse. And by the time we are heading into June, mid-June, Nine of Swords now, we have the 9 and the 10 of Swords. And lastly, the 5 of Cups in reverse. My goodness, Capricorn, that is a lot of reversals. In fact, all of your reading is reversal. So I will tell you that, Capricorn, you all have probably had a lot of impactful things happening to you in your career over this last few months. And Spirit is telling you that by the time you get to mid-June, the worry is going to be gone. So that's good to see. All right, Spirit, if you can send my Capricorns a card representing the energy that they bring into mid-May. And you have the Queen of Swords in the upright. Beautiful depiction of the Queen of Swords. So for many of you all, an important decision either has already been made or you're in the process of making it. Remember, Queen of Swords is a swift moving energy. The Queen of Swords does not take any funny business. She is meaning business quickly and swiftly, and she wants to make sure everything is buttoned up by time she comes through. So I do think for many of you all have been amidst a career change, possibly at your job. You are considering either leaving or moving to a different department. There is someone here, this Queen of Swords also could depict a person in your life, whether it be a boss, an organization. There's something here that you are feeling like you are ready to move on from this. You want to do it quickly and you've been pondering it way too long. So really keep that in mind as you move through May and June. Okay, Capricorn? Let's go ahead and pull a card representing an oracle message. This is going to be like an overall message for your career for my Capricorn. Spirit, if you can send me a card. Thank you. And you have Wheel of Fortune. Look at that, but it is in the reverse. Look at that depiction of Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful energy there. And you can see that she is in front of these mountains out in the wilderness, and she's kind of like trusting all her fate that she will be able to spin this wheel and it will give her what she wants. Now, I will tell you, with it in reverse, this could suggest that many of you all Capricorns have been on this Wheel of Fortune of sorts in terms of your job. I feel like many of you all have been in and out of a different type of jobs maybe over the last few years. And I do think that Spirit is telling you, do not depend on just luck. You're going to have to put out feelers, network, get with people that you know who are for your highest good, and not just trust it to fate, okay? And I do hear that coming on strongly, Capricorn, and I do think for many of you all, the last few months, I will say since probably your solar return there in later part of 24 to 25, you've had some really tumultuous energy, and it feels like many of you all are trying to get to an end of a cycle that has been plaguing you, if you will, going back and forth. And I will tell you, May 17th, when Sun is conjunct Uranus in Taurus, you could have received unexpected news around your job or your career. And I do think by time May 20th rolls around with the sun entering Gemini season is going to be really big for most of us, because this is going to be a mentally charged season. And I do think that 10 of Swords in reverse is like, look, I know you have a lot going on. This King of Wands is like, I know you haven't been able to put forth all the passion and get those projects done that you wanted, or you couldn't reach that goal that you were trying to obtain. But Spirit is telling you, use this 10 of Swords energy in reverse to motivate you to get going on something that you're passionate about. May 24th, big day. This is when Saturn enters Aries, and it will be there until August 31st, when it will retrograde back into Pisces. During this time, pay attention to your finances, pay attention to who is coming into your life. I do think there's some type of major ending that could be coming for you, Capricorn. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad ending. And I say that because this Lovers card here, I'm always trying to keep the cards all straight for you all. This Lovers card in reverse and 7 of Wands, this is partnerships. This is meeting with people, even though you're not quite sure if you want to. It's like there's a hesitation to reach out to someone on LinkedIn or to email someone that possibly you think could be a helpful connection at a company. Something here around the 26th of May, when we have that Gemini new moon, this is brand new ideas. This is brand new ways to look at approaching your career. I do think for many of you all are trying to find new ways to level up in your current job. You're fine with the company, or you're fine with your entrepreneurial venture, but I do feel like some of you are like, but I could be making more, or I could be spending more time with my family. There's something here where there's this constant going back and forth where you're trying to figure out what is the next step. And I do feel like some type of important partnership during that Gemini new moon phase is going to be really important to you. That next day is the sun conjunct Mercury in Gemini. So much Gemini energy helping you with partnerships, helping you connect with the people you need to connect with. And I do think, Capricorn, by time you are moving out of May and into June, we do have Venus conjunct Chiron in Aries on June 1st, and Venus enters Taurus on June 6th. During this time, Knight of Wands, Page of Cups in reverse. You all are so ready to go on some type of project or passion item that you have been trying to do. To me, this seems like something on the side that you have been doing, a side hustle. For many of you, I do think this Knight of Wands could be a side hustle that hasn't gone the way that you were hoping. I do think that Wheel of Fortune in reverse and 7 of Wands in reverse could suggest also that entrepreneurialism, that you've been trying to launch a product, launch a service, but it just has been taking forever. And I do think that by time we get to June 8th, when Mercury enters Cancer, this is going to be more nurturing energy. And I do think this could help you possibly. And I do feel like someone is trying to help you, maybe with a loan, maybe with some advice. June 9th is the second great day that's happening when we have Jupiter entering Cancer. So June 9th is going to be a major event occurring. And I do think that this Knight of Wands, Page of Cups, really reach out, like I said, to your network. And if you are trying to launch something that just hasn't taken off, maybe rethink it. Gemini season is a great time to do that. And that Sagittarius full moon on June 11th could illuminate some area that you have been missing in your venture, okay? I do think also that Sagittarius full moon is a great time for highlighting what you do not need to worry about anymore. Sagittarius is that lighter, happier, go luckier sign of the zodiac, but it's also that like philosophical, wanting to reach out, wanting to network, wanting to meet with people, and you're no longer feeling bad. You're no longer in your head so much as you were at the beginning of this reading back at that Gemini new moon. And I do think that by the time we get to June 15th, Mars in Leo squares Uranus and Taurus. So this could be tension in your family, tension around money. Jupiter in Cancer also squares Saturn in Aries on that same day of June 15th. So by the time we arrive at June 15th, watch for communications around your money, around where it is that you want to possibly move into a different type of work. Those ideas could come up around the 15th. And I do think that after that Sagittarius full moon, you are no longer worried so much about what is the next step. I think you're going to start getting big ideas by the time you get to mid-June. So this is really nice to see, Capricorn. Yeah, so overall, I think this is really nice, even though you did get all reversals. I say that, but the thing is about reversals is that there's some opportunity to change it around. And I do think that by the time you get to mid-June, you all are turning things around, feeling a lot better about where you are going. And I feel like that Queen of Swords comes in, you make a decision, you move forward on that new path. So let me know, Capricorn, what are you looking forward to mid-May to mid-June? Drop me a comment below. Also, if you haven't already looked at those monthly May readings, I invite you to do that as well. All right, you all, talk to you later.